I'm Donna La Pre, and I'm a local natural perfumer and apothecary products maker, and I use mostly organic ingredients and things that I source from my biodynamic gardens. And I'm here at Susan Leopold's Indian Pipe Plant Sanctuary harvesting elderflower blossoms for a hydrosol, which is a byproduct if you're distilling essential oil, or if you do as I do, make a hydrosol just, as a dedicated hydrosol for therapeutic purposes. A hydrosol is somewhere in between homeopathic, herbal tincture, and essential oil. It's very potent. There's no alcohol involved. There's no glycerite for people who are very sensitive. And with this elderflower, typically, if you're getting a cold or flu, a couple of spritzes in the mouth or a tablespoon of the hydrosol will nip it in the bud, where instead of having to take teas or tinctures for days and days and days. So it's very gentle, but incredibly potent. So that's what I make, and these are perfect. I was looking for plants that are full of pollen and fragrant, and a little bit overripe is not so bad when you're doing elderflower. Each plant has its right moment of distillation, and this is the right moment for elderflower. The copper stills the plant. Waters come truer to the plant. They're sweeter, they're aromatically, they're much more like the plant, and they're not sour. So I'm filling this. I got that, and now I'm going to put the elderflower into the column, which is this part. And you don't want to pack it so full that it can't breathe in there, because the steam has to circulate, and you'll see it goes up into the next part, into the dome with the bird beak, which is this thing, and it's got a temperature gauge on it so you can see when it's getting ready to boil. And it's my thing, you can hydrodistill if you're doing delicate things like rose petals. I would put them into the pot rather than the column. But even when I'm steam distilling, I put some in for the pot, because it's just my little thing to, ode to the plant spirits. When you start by picking it properly, and then the whole process of right temperature for the water, the steam, keeping the condenser cool, and of course clean equipment, and then refrigeration, that all is necessary if you want a shot at a good distillation. And hopefully you get one. And you might not, but I would say 99% of the time, if you're that sensitive to what you're doing, you will. But I have tasted a lot of hydrosols that are just water with essential oil put in, or they're really poorly distilled and they taste like water. They have no complexity, they don't have a top note, they don't have back notes, they don't have any medicinal properties, and that's totally not what I'm after. I'm after the authentic. So I'm cooling the condenser water, because the condenser coil is where the magic happens. That's where the volatile oils get captured and dissolved actually in the hydrosol water, and the condenser needs to be kept cool. So when I see the steam around the coil, it's my signal to cool it off, and that's also when the distillate is flowing, and it just comes out in little bits at a time. So it steams, that's usually a signal something's going to happen, then it steams, and then tickle, 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 then it comes out. So what happens when I'm done with this is I will scoot home, and I will put it in a clean little jar that's waiting, label it, and put it in the fridge. This has no preservatives, and hydrosols tend to be a little bit high pH-wise, so they tend more towards the acidic, and that helps to preserve them. But then I will bottle it up. I'll show you. So I just use this little mister bottle, and I have put one of my nice labels on it, and I write the date of this batch, because they have a shelf life of anywhere from a year to 2 years if they're properly made and stored well, so you do want to keep them in the fridge. But a lot of people don't know you can take hydrosols internally, and you can use them topically for skin conditions or just for like an energy shift, depending on which it is. But I think we were talking before, the elderflower really is antiviral, it's antibacterial, it's antifungal. I mean, it's really does a lot in hydrosol form. So it crosses a lot of boundaries that are usually set up in herbalism. It crosses a lot of those typical applications. If you take a little spritz of the elderflower hydrosol at the onset of a respiratory ill, cold or flu, you can just completely knock it out if it's a good distillation. So I love it. It's quick, it's, gentle, but very potent.